All right, settle in now. Pull up a log. You think you know the story of the three little pigs, don't you? Of course you do. We all do. A story of three innocent little pigs and one big bad wolf. But what if I told you that story is a lie? What if I told you the papers, the storybooks, they all got it wrong? I want you to listen, really listen, because you've only ever heard one side of the story. Tonight, I'm going to tell you the real story, the wolf's story. His name wasn't Big Bad. It was Alexander. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call him Al. And according to Al, the whole thing was a setup, a frame job. See, it all started with a cake and a sneeze. It was his dear old granny's birthday, you see. Al was baking her a big, beautiful birthday cake. He was right in the middle of it, flour on his nose, sugar on his paws, when he realized he was out of sugar. A disaster. You can't make a birthday cake without sugar. So, being a friendly, neighborly sort of wolf, he decided to pop next door to borrow a cup. His first neighbor, well, he wasn't the sharpest pig in the pen. He'd built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? Straw. Al walked right up to the door and knocked. No answer. He called out, little pig, are you in?" Nothing. Now, here's the important part. Al had a cold. A terrible, tickly in the snaz, can't stop it coming kind of cold. And as he stood there on that straw doormat, he felt a sneeze coming on. He huffed and he snuffed and he tried to cover his mouth, but it was too late. It just exploded out of him. Achoo! And you know what? That flimsy little straw house just poof! It fell right down. Gone. And right there, in the middle of the pile of straw, was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. Now, what would you do? Al looked at the little pig, lying there. He thought it was a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner just lying there in the straw. It would go bad. So, he ate him. Think of it as a big cheeseburger, just lying there. He was still out of sugar though, so he went to the next house. This pig was a little smarter, but not much. He'd built his house out of sticks. Sticks! Al knocked on the door. Mr. Pig, are you home?" The pig yelled back, "Go away, Wolf! You can't come in!" Fair enough. But as Al was turning to leave, he felt it again. That tickle, that rumble. He huffed and he snuffed and he tried with all his might to hold it in. And achoo! Oh, achoo! And down came the house of sticks. Unbelievable. And there, in the pile of twigs, was the second little pig. Well, you know the story. Food on the table. It seemed a shame to waste it. So now, Al is feeling a bit full, but he still doesn't have that cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake. He's a determined wolf. So he heads to the last house, the brick one. This pig, Al said, was the brains of the outfit. He was also a real jerk. I'll not. Polite as you please. Mr. Pig, are you home? And you know what this little pig yelled back? Get out of here, wolf! And your granny can sit on a pin. Now listen, you can say what you want about Al, but to talk about his dear old granny like that, that's just wrong. It crossed the line. Al went a little crazy. He huffed and he puffed and he blew on that brick house for all he was worth, but it wouldn't budge. And just then, the cops showed up. The reporters. They saw him there, huffing and puffing. They saw the two piles of rubble where the other houses used to be. They had their story. They didn't care about the cold. They didn't ask about the cup of sugar. They never even mentioned his granny's birthday cake. Nope. They just saw a big wolf and a couple of piggy dinners, and they created a legend. The Big Bad Wolf. And that's the story you've been told ever since. So, what do you think? Was he the big bad wolf? Or was he just a guy with a bad cold who got framed? The real story depends entirely on who you ask.